Back with the shenanigans once again, guys. Unfortunately, back again. But as promised, I am always going to talk about these stories. I will never ignore these stories. Okay? This stuff, man. Another dad. Another school board meeting. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Please don't be scammed by the scammer in my comment section too, okay? He's taking my name and my profile picture, and he's asking you guys to go to WhatsApp or Telegram. Do not go there. The only way to donate to me is through the YouTube platform itself, okay? Via a super thanks. That is the only way. Even if it looks like me, if they're telling you to go somewhere else, it's a lie, it's a scam, don't do it. All right, now let's dive into this school board meeting apparently in Anchorage, Alaska. Yeah. In Alaska, they having some problems with the school board. Goodness gracious.
I don't understand how it's appropriate for kids and it's not appropriate for the school board. I didn't even say a bad word. It feels a lot like you don't want parents to be seeing what's given to the kids. I'm here to talk about diversity, inclusion, and equity. So we hear so much about diversity, inclusion, and equity and how it's one of the main thrusts, main objectives of the school board and the school district. We don't often see specific examples of what diversity, inclusion, and equity looks like, though. So today I brought an excellent representation. This is like the archetype of diversity, inclusion, and equity material that it's one of the books that was just recently purchased for our libraries. It's in Romig and Bartlett. It's called Let's Talk About It by Erica Moen. So it's got one of the chapters in here is about sexting. And I'll just read some of the text here. So before you start sending your naughty masterpieces around the world, take some time to get friendly with photo editing software and apps. Digital photos are permanent and impossible to retract once they're out there. So keep your recognizable features out of them before you share them. This is a book for kids. Don't forget to crop out your face, hide your birthmarks and scars, and edit out your piercings and tattoos. And don't forget to tell your sweetie how hot they look. Let them know you appreciate the little gift they've sent you.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you at this point. It sounds like you have a concern about a book. I'd be glad to connect you to the superintendent and their team to go through the appropriate process.
I'd appreciate if you don't interrupt my time.
Mr. McDonald, I've asked you to defer to the superintendent and their team if you have a concern about a book. We have a procedure and a process and a team ready to assist you if you'd like.
Mr. President, I don't think he's violated any rules. I mean, he hasn't used pornography. I mean, he hasn't shown any pornography. He hasn't shown any bad words, offensive words.
Hey, shout out to the brother Dave. Shout out to Dave. See that's a good fella right there. That's a good fella. Okay. Whoever this, hold on, let me see if I can see the name of this guy. Carl. At least that's what it looks like. You can barely see it because this video is so blurry. Carl is what that name looks like. Oh man, Carl. What are you doing, Carl? This is a book that apparently the school board allegedly the school board let into the school. And now a parent can't read it? But kids can? In what world does that make any sense? You know, sometimes I just want to be like, Ashton Kutcher, come out. Come out, Ashton. Yeah, y'all remember the show what was it? Was it Pranked or was it Punked? I think it was named one of those two things. Punked or Pranked. Ashton Kutcher had like a prank show where like he would like prank celebrities or whatever, and like really get them. Like I think he like pretended to tow someone's car because they were behind on payments or something once, like to Justin Bieber or Shaquille O'Neal or somebody. And sometimes I just want to be like, hey, yo, Ashton Kutcher. You know, because like he would always like pop out at the end, like right before the celebrity like lost their mind because, you know, the car was getting towed away or something was happening. He would just pop out, you know. Sometimes I just want to be like, hey, yo, Ashton, come on. Like, This has to be a prank. This has to be a joke. This can't be real. You allow a book into a school for kids to read, but a parent tries to read and you say, oh, no. That's too vulgar. What? Come on, Carl. You're not making a whole lot of sense, Carl.
Mr. President, I don't think he's violated any rules. I mean, he hasn't used pornography. I mean, he hasn't shown any pornography. He hasn't shown any bad words, offensive words.
Mr. Donnelly, you can overrule the ruling of the chair if you'd like. It's my determination that we should ask Mr. McDonald to go through the appropriate process.
Well, I understand suggesting that to him, and I think that's fine, but I don't think he's said anything that would cause us to cut off his testimony at this point.
I think we have a past precedent in this boardroom which would support my ruling. You're welcome, and I support your right to appeal the ruling of the chair, sir.
Well, yeah, I would appeal the ruling of the chair based on that I haven't heard anything that specifically violated our current rules for public testimony.
Understood. Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I don't believe there's a debate, so we would go straight to a vote whether we're going to uphold the ruling of the chair. Ms. Foster, can we have a vote? A yes vote would be to uphold the ruling of the chair. A no vote would be to sustain or overrule, I suppose.
Member Higgins?
Yes.
Member Donnelly?
No.
President Bellamy? President Bellamy, I think you're muted.
Sorry. Yes.
Thank you. Member Holloman?
No.
Member Lessons? Yes. Member Wilson? Yes. And Member Jacobs?
Yes.
How disgusting.
Okay. By a vote of 5-2, the ruling is upheld. So, Mr. McDonald.
How almost cursed. It was coming off the tongue. it was coming. Oh, I almost dropped the F-bomb. How disgusting. You know what I think should happen? This is what I think should happen. Now, this isn't like the best solution in the world, I will admit that. But if any of these school board members have any kids, their kids should personally sit down and read these books. Sit down and have to read those books. Or their parents should have to sit down with their kids and read the book to them. Because you want everybody else's kids to read it. But are you allowing your own? Maybe they're sick individuals and allow their own kids to read this kind of stuff. But, I think that should be one requirement. Okay? But anything sexual should be outlawed and banned in schools. First off, there's no reading, writing, science, or math involved in sexual activities. Okay? None of it. And from the last time I checked, our test scores are terrible. Terrible. And we're more concerned with sexual acts than actually teaching kids reading, writing, science, and math. So anything to do with any type of sex, sexting, anything even remotely sexual is banned in all classrooms across the United States. Now, I don't know the legalities of that, but, according to Joe and the left and what they're doing with a lot of things, anything's legal around here, I guess. You just have to make sure you phrase it in the correct way. So that's one of my proposals. If I'm president, all that stuff is banned. Reading, writing, science, and math. If you are caught even talking about anything sexual, right? You are kicked out of the classroom and your teacher's license is revoked and never to be returned. We teach reading, writing, science, and math. If you wanna have some after school hours, whatever, whatever. Inside of school hours, reading, writing, science, and math. That is it. That is all. Do not talk about anything else. Stop all this madness. But that's just my opinion. And, that's just off the top of the head. That wasn't like sat down and, playing it all out. So I'm sure there's something I'm missing there. But this stuff is ridiculous.
If you have any other items to testify on, you're welcome to do so.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I keep getting cut off when I just read these books that are there's still purchase orders out for these books. Like they're not old things that were just put on the shelves to rot. Like they're things that you're actively procuring, putting in class. The first book that I read, I'm going to bring some of the FOIA documents that I have next time I'm in here. But there's teachers that are actually using it on their reading list in their classroom as part of their class material. So I don't want to hear that we're not giving this to kids. I was at the police department today and I was talking to them about this. And what it comes down to is there's a gray area where they say that, because you got to understand that distribution of indecent and pornographic materials to minors is a Class C felony. I hope that people understand that. So if there's the argument that, well, it's loosely covered by the First Amendment, and that's what you're doing, that's what you're hiding behind to give this to students in school, then how can you say I don't have First Amendment rights to just read this to adults at a school board meeting? Is it or is it not a First Amendment issue? I don't understand how it's appropriate for kids and it's not appropriate for the school board. I didn't even say a bad word. It feels a lot like you don't want parents to be seeing what's given to the kids. You're happy to give this to children. I've seen you. I mean, you even host reading times on the weekends. What's your reading list when you host reading time on the weekends with Felix? You're happy to give these books to kids. It seems like you're terrified to give them to parents. And I think it's an absolute travesty that you cut off my time and don't even let me have my 3 minutes. I think you're breaking your own rules. Thank you.
Nah, ain't no thank you. It's but goodness gracious, man, oh man. And I think that guy had a point there. I think he had a point. They said First Amendment, but I think they're breaking the law. He just opened up a whole can of worms there with that one. I never thought about that. They're actually breaking or could be allegedly, got to put allegedly, could be allegedly breaking the law. Any of my legal folks out there that, may be watching, you let me know in the comment section. What's the legality surrounding this type of situation? Let me know in the comment section. That's quite interesting. Quite interesting, if I do say so myself. It's an interesting angle to come at it. I like that. I like it. But like I said, guys, we got to pay attention to what's going on in these schools. And listen, like I said before, I think it's time to pull kids out of school. Obviously, I know that's not possible for everybody, especially in today's economy. Goodness gracious. Stuff is ridiculous out here. So I definitely understand from that perspective, how that's not possible. But at minimum, we need to be paying attention to what's going on so we can expose some of these folks who have some bad intentions for our children. But as always, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.